Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Card Karma. I hope you like my new little intro. I've just been working on that. Hopefully get it a little bit more smooth in the future, but it'll work for now. Let me know what you think about that. Anything I could change about it, or if you liked it, if you didn't like it, let me know. But for today's episode, we are going to feature a Raichu deck. Now Raichu is very versatile. It can go in a lot of different types of decks. You'll see like Raichu bats or just lots of different things Raichu can go with, and that's because he, like I said, he is very versatile. He's a stage 1, so he's very easy to get out. Just one, you can Ultra Ball for, say you play Pikachu, Ultra Ball for Raichu, you're ready to go. His attack Circle Circuit takes 2 double colorless energy, or 2 colorless energy, so 1 double colorless can power him up, and he's ready to go. And it says this attack does 20 damage times the number of your benched Pokemon. So in combination with Sky Field, which allows us to have up to 8 benched Pokemon, this thing can be doing 160 damage. With a Muscle Band, that's 180. So that's a clean knockout on lots of EXs there. So Raichu is very powerful, very potent. He's got a free retreat, which can be very beneficial to us. It gets us out of tricky situations. And really, his only downfall is his fighting weakness. I mean, obviously 90 HP is not the most, but his biggest downfall would be that fighting weakness, because Landorus is so popular, Lucario is pretty popular, and numerous, Baby Landorus, lots of different fighting type threats are really common right now. So that's his biggest downfall. But if you can get around that, which you can easier with that free retreat, Raichu is very, very powerful. And this build of Raichu, similar to something that Stephen Bates played at Nationals, and I think he got, top 20. He got up. He placed decently, and I think other players were playing similar builds as well. But this deck sort of tries to meta deck against other popular types of decks, and tries to have answers for a lot of the common things you're going to run into. One of the first ways we go about that is the tried and true Trubbish Garbodor. And Garbotoxin, as long as it has a tool attached to it, is going to shut off all abilities of our opponents, or of all Pokemon, our Pokemon too. But none of our Pokemon are relying on abilities except for our Shaymins. So Garbodor can really help us to shut out any of those troublesome abilities. It shuts off our opponent's Shaymins for one. It shuts off things like Keldeo's Russian, Aegislash's Mighty Shield, which basically shuts down this deck otherwise. Lots of different abilities are common, even like Kling Kling, Plasma Steel, stuff like that. So Garbodor, 3-2 line of Garbodor here is for that type of protection. As our additional attacker, our other attacker, or one of our other attackers, is going to be Landorus EX. And again, like I said, fighting is just very powerful right now, and this counters Raichu's. It counters lots of things that are weak to fighting, and it just does spread damage, which is nice. You can soften up EXs on the bench before Raichu gets to mow him down or something like that. And obviously he has the Land's Judgment attack, which we can use. We are able to use it, but it's at a pretty high cost for this deck since we are not a fighting-based deck, so we won't be using that too often. We run the 4 Shaymin, and it is a lot, but you have to keep in mind that we are going for benched Pokemon with the Skyfield and Raichu, so it's okay even if we don't use it to draw, just to take up space on the bench, which I know doesn't sound great with Shaymin being an easy 2 prizes, but it's also good draw support, so it still works into our strategy for the most part. And then our last attacker that we have, everyone's favorite, Cancer Toad, Seismitoad EX, sorry about that. We run 2X of him. And he's just, again, he can attack for a single double colorless energy, shuts off our opponent's item cards, and just makes it harder for them to set up and run through their deck. So it just aims to counter a lot of different strategies, if you will. We can't use the Grenade Hammer in this deck because we do not run water energy. So we will be only using the Quaking Punch attack to shut off our opponent's items. And he also has the benefit of hitting against a lot of fighting types and ground type Pokemon that are weak to water. So we have that benefit, although 30 damage, even with Muscle Band at 50, it's not going to do a lot, but it does add up. So, yeah, we all know how powerful Seismitoad is. Seismitoad used to go with Garbodor all the time, so we just have a mixed bag here, kind of. We have the makings of a Raichu deck, a Landorus deck, and a Garbotoad deck. So like I said, we're trying to hit on all cylinders here and just stop any potential threats we might run into. As you'll see, the rest of the deck is pretty straightforward. We run the computer search, which is obviously great for getting any type of card we might need, whether it be a DCE, a muscle band, strong energy, whatever it might be. We can get out of pretty much any situation with our comp search. For Ultra Ball, again, we are based on Skyfield Raichu, trying to get as many Pokemon on our bench as we can. So Ultra Ball can help us fill those slots if we need to. VS Seeker is going to help us get back all of our supporter cards, so we can reuse those again and again. Being that we are reliant on our bench, we're running 3 Colress, which is high for most decks, but in this deck, it'll be pretty consistent. I mean, even if we get our Skyfield knocked off, assuming our opponent has any type of bench Pokemon, I mean it's a shuffle draw 5, which is a Shauna just by default, and then plus any other cards that our opponent has benched. So Colress is a very powerful supporter in this deck. We run 2 Lysanders, and that's, I mean, his purpose does not need to be described really, but he can pull up things off the bench and we can knock them out. Whether it be weakened things from like Landorus's Hammerhead or something that somebody tried to retreat to prevent us from taking a prize, Lysander will allow us to do that. Pull up Shaymins, Jirachis, that sort of thing. Lysander's a great card. We run 3 Ins, which I like in this current game because without trump cards, sometimes we do need to shuffle our cards back in if we are running through our deck too fast, and In allows us to do that as well as disrupting our opponent. So everyone knows why In is great. Sycamore, same thing. Everyone knows Sycamore, discard your hand, draw 7. Very powerful effect. So we run the 3 of those. And we do not run like the 4 of the In or the Sycamore because we have these extra Colossus. So I think 3/3 will work here. We do run the full 4 Skyfields. And that's obvious. We want to be winning that Stadium War, and we want to have our bench as beefy as we can. So we want to always have this Stadium in play if we can. 4 Float Stones, and this is good because, for one, we need it for Garbodor, Garbotoxin to activate. 2, we have things like Landorus with his 3 Retreat, or Seismitoad with 3 Retreat, which we really don't want stuck out there. So in a pinch, we can attach to those Pokemon and get them out of there. Even Shaymin too, if given the chance that he doesn't die, we can pull him back if we don't feel like attaching a TCE to Sky Return or something like that. 3 Muscle Bands, and that's obviously to increase damage output of Raichu as well as the other Pokemon. Seismitoad, that Quaking Punch at 50 is a lot better, even though it's only 20 extra damage. It's a lot better when you're doing it over and over again. Landorus, 50 to the active, 30 to the bench. That's 80 damage for 1 energy. And then in this deck, we only have Strong for fighting, so that's another 20. So you're already doing 70 plus 30. You're doing 100 damage for 1 energy. That's pretty potent, if you ask me. And then for energies, we run 4 DCE, 4 Strong. So all special energies, and so that makes us pretty weak to Hammer, I suppose you could say, but it works and it gets the job done. I don't know, that's all there really is there to say. This deck could probably use some basic energies, but I don't know what you would cut to use them. So for now, that's what we're working with. And yeah, that's pretty much just the deck. Really straightforward, really streamlined, and like I said, it aims to counter most of the other popular decks. So let's give it a whirl, see what we can do with it. Hopefully get a win. If we don't get a win, maybe you'll at least get to see what the deck's capable of and perhaps help me optimize it or something like that. Okay, looks like we got a match here. Fighting Simply Obsessed. I've seen that name around before. Looks like he was playing Psychic, Electric, Colorless, so that could very easily be Night March. So be interested to see if this deck can hold up against the ultra fast Night March deck, if that is what it is, of course. We're starting with Shaymin after a mulligan, which is unfortunate. But we do have the DC, and we do see the Joltik, so we are fighting Night March here. Opponent's going to go ahead and play a town map, revealing, oh wow, 2 Lampions and 2 Mews. Not good for them, I'm assuming. Trick Shovel. Are they going to target themselves, maybe? I don't... Okay, they're going to get rid of an Ultra Ball. Okay, we see the band, we see the DCE attach, we see a Sycamore, discarding 2 Night Marchers, very nice for them. Battle Compressor, very standard Night March play here. Oddly enough, if he doesn't get another basic down, just our Sky Return would knock this Joltik out, so I'm sure they won't let that happen, but we will see. Only one Night Marcher off that, and another battle. Why would you just get it out of your deck? I guess. Having those 2 Lampins prized is pretty awesome for us, and 2 Mews. So they are in a rough spot, to say the least. And they Battle Compressor a Battle Compressor. Shaman for more cards. Okay, so we aren't going to be able to get the Donk, at least. They do have benched Pokemon now. Let's go ahead and play the DCE here. And we're just going to end here. I don't want to Sycamore away those strong energies. And those other supporters will be useful later on down the line. Okay. Going to Sky Return, knocking out this Joltik, and I think this is a tough call here, but I'm going to go into the Landorus. He resists electric and can hit the bench. I have a float to retreat him. I have computer search to get a strong. So I think no matter what here, unless we see an end from our opponent, which is not out of the question. We see a laser come down, does not get the head, so we're going to be fine in that department. We see a Shaman come down for some extra cards. A Muscle Band comes down on the Joltik. We see an Acrobike, discarding a Dimension Valley, and he gets the DCE. Unfortunate. Hits us for 160, but with resistance, even with poison, we will not die. So that is very nice. We're going to go ahead and play that Raichu. Let's see here. I can knock out both of his Night Marchers right now. Is that the play I want to be doing, though? I kind of think it is. Even though I'll die to the poison. That's a rough spot to be in. I don't want to play these extra prizes because Joltik will just knock them out. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and just discard Seismitoad. Get the strong energy here. I guess I'll play a Shaman. This could be the worst play ever, but I'm going to play the Skyfield, get rid of his Stadium. We already saw him discard one of them. Do I want to Colress is a question I could be asking myself, and I think I will. Get another Pikachu in play. I'm going to hold on to the other Pikachu for the time being. And we're just going to go and Hammerhead, knocking out both of our opponent's Joltiks. And we are ahead in the prize game for sure. We get the poison kills our Landorus, allowing our opponent to take 2 prizes here. They do grab the Mew, and I forget the other one at this point. I'm gonna go play Raichu, I suppose. Could be a risk, but we have another Raichu in hand, and he has free retreat, which is not bad. See our opponent play the Ultra Ball. Does he have a Night Marcher left? No, he grabs a Mew. Well, Mew can't really help him right now. See the Versus Seeker probably grabbing maybe a Sycamore. Yeah, Juniper. Discards a Center Lady. Draws a fresh hand to 7. Opponent down to 11 cards. See the DCE, so we can do a Sky Return now. See the Trick Shovel come down. Is he going to hit us or himself? Assuming us at this point. His deck is already too low. Knocking out another Ultra Ball. It's fine, really. Sky Return. Returning Shaman to his hand. Promoting a Mew EX. He's going to play another Pikachu. Play a Raichu. And 3, 4, 5. Colress is not that effective here, so I'm going to go ahead and Sycamore. Losing a few valuable cards, but hopefully getting some more stuff for our bench. We get the Muscle Band, which is solid. Discard a Floatstone and a Sycamore. We can always get the Via Seeker back. I'm going to grab a Shaman. Hopefully maybe draw us into some more basics. We do get more basics. Very nice. I did not get a double colorless though. I could retreat into Landorus and just go that approach. Just gonna hold on to the float. Go ahead and Hammerhead for 50, but 30 on our opponent's other Mew EX. If we can get a Muscle Band, which I wish I would, if I would have attached here. Okay, he's probably gonna Sky Return, so we won't be able to keep that damage anyway. We see a Fan Club from our opponent, grabbing nothing. So I think our opponent is actually out of Night Marchers. See an Ultra Ball for nothing, a Shaman. Okay, he's just lowering his hand size to draw from a Shaman. See Trick Shovel, probably going to hit our deck. Losing a Muscle Band, that's unfortunate. Our deck is down to 21 cards. Hopefully we could draw into a DCE and start knocking out with our Raichus. Landorus does not have the muscle that I need right now. He ends up circle circuiting for 60. It's fine. And we see the concession. So yeah, I think they night march themselves to death there. And we happen to fulfill some daily challenges, so that's a plus, I guess. Yeah, it looks like those 2 Joltik knockouts were kind of critical there. He wasn't able to, I guess he didn't run revives, and wasn't able to get a Night Marcher in play, so his strategy was kind of neutered, if you will. Let's try another one. Alright, we're fighting W Cody C with a Psychic Electric Fire deck, so this could be, if this is another Night March deck, maybe with Ninetales to keep their Dimension Valley in play, or not, or Flareon. No, that makes more sense. So we'll see. I really hate Night March, so this is just my worst nightmares coming true, I think. We have a DCE in hand. I think I'll actually just start Toad. And I guess I'll bench Pikachu. See why not. Yep, and yet again Night March. How cool is that? It's my actual least favorite deck to fight against, I think, so. But it is a meta deck, so maybe this you'll see the deck in action. Yep, See, standard battle compressor for some night marchers, sycamore, getting rid of a flareon, another night marcher, two more lampins, and a fresh hand of 7. Our opponent does need to get something else on the bench here. See, an ultra ball, discarding 2 ultra balls, grabbing a Mew EX. See a trainer's mail, grabbing a muscle band. Is he going to play that? Because if not, he'll get Quaking Punch. Yes, he goes ahead and plays it. That's smart for him. We see an acrobike discarding a fire energy and a pass. Okay, we're going to go ahead and DCE up, get a band of our own. Let's see here. We'll go ahead and play a shaman, draw some cards. I don't know if I really want to rush through our deck the same way our opponent just did, so I'm going to hold off on playing these extra cards. Shamans can be liabilities when they're weak to electric and Joltik's out. I could Ultra Ball for something, I don't know. And then Chorus, this doesn't seem like the play here. It could be bad, but I'm just going to Quaking Punch. I'm just gonna hold on to my hand here. Okay, we see the DCE come down. We see a Birch's Observation. See what our opponent flips. They do get the head, so that's another 7. They do get a Joltik, so Night March is alive. Only doing 140 though. Uptrade is complete. Sorry about that, guys. I'm gonna band up this Pikachu. Let's see here. DCE on the Pikachu. Discard Chorus and a Lysander. Maybe I should have kept that Lysander, but I'll grab a Raichu. Okay, let's see. I'll play another Shaman here, draw some cards. Nothing too useful, unfortunately. I can get the Lysander back and actually knock out that Joltik. That actually seems like something I wouldn't mind doing. So then even if they take out the Seismitoad, we're even on prizes, so. And they have to get another Night Marcher in play, and they do, unfortunately. I've yet to see a Skyfield, so that's unfortunate. See opponent play a Skyla here, grabbing an Ultra Ball. See if they're going to play that this turn. I'm not sure what they would grab. Maybe another Mew. Okay, they actually use our own Quaking Punch against us there, so that's, I suppose, unfortunate. I'll go ahead and promote Raichu. He has free retreat and he's already banded and DCE'd up, so get the Landorus, we can play that. Attach an energy. And I'm tempted to end here. Actually, I will end because I draw the same amount of cards either way and knock our opponent down to 4, so. Okay, we do draw Trubbish and a Shaman, so that's more bench and more draw for us. Nothing that we can play without our Skyfield, unfortunately, so. Okay, we do get the knockout on the Mew EX though, so we are definitely ahead in the prize department. We have a Garbodor in hand, so we can shut off that Sigilif, we can shut off future Mew EXs if they have them. And hopefully we can just draw into a Skyfield. Okay, we see the Muscle Band and DCE on the Pumpkaboo, so we'll be able to Night March for a clean 160. Okay, what to promote here is the question. We could computer search for a float and get anything out of that spot, but we don't have a good attacker right now. Ay. I'm gonna promote a Shaman EX. That could be a terrible mistake, but we do get a DCE. I'm gonna play a Pikachu, and I'm going to computer search away and grab that Sky Field. I believe that's what I want here. Or do I want to float? No, I don't want to float. Yeah, I'm just gonna grab Sky Field. See, right now this is doing 30. I can make it do 50 with a muscle band. That'd be a knockout here. Ay. This is a tricky spot we're in. We only need to take 2 more prizes. That's probably the worst thing ever, but seeing a battle compressor from our opponent. Okay, they are going to knock out. Actually, I think we have the game here. Land's Judgment. 190 damage, taking the game. So yeah, definitely, I mean, it showcases how you just can use tricky little things to beat, you know, the common strategies. And just like I said, we probably wouldn't be using Land's Judgment, and lo and behold, that was actually what won us the game. There might have been other ways to win there, but that just seemed the most logical and the most effective for me, so it's the one I went with. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. We didn't get to see too much of Raichu. He did do some work, but he was knocked out quickly by, you know, our opponent's Night Marchers. But it just showed you how it can attack from numerous angles. It doesn't have to rely on Skyfield or Raichu or any one of our threats. We can hit from, you know, numerous, you know, angles. We have lots of different options with this deck. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Hope it didn't go too long. But yeah, let me know what kind of decks you'd like to see. Any constructive criticism or feedback on my videos. I'm definitely trying to improve. This is a pretty new video, or pretty new channel, so yeah. And in regards to that, you know, any likes, thumbs up, subscribes to the channel, sharing it with your friends, showing your friends, you know, if you liked it, if you thought it was cool, anything like that is, you know, greatly appreciated. I love hearing back from you guys. I love seeing you know, new subscribers, new viewers, all that. I love it. And if you'd like to catch me live, you can follow me on twitch.tv. And I stream TCGO as well as some other games there pretty often. So yeah, hopefully I see you guys again, and I hope you enjoyed. Card Karma signing out.